Welcome. For today's restorative, which should be about 15 minutes, you'll need two pillows. Right here. Set those to the side once you get them, and a blanket, of any size. The blanket's going to be folded up, or actually rolled up for us. So you can go ahead and grab the blanket and as I'm doing here, fold in half, fold it again, and then just roll it up lightly. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to face towards me as you place the blanket between the calves and the thighs, so that when you're seated towards the heels, you're not actually sitting on the heels. Starting with neck rolls, once you're set up, drawing the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then chin to center, and left ear to left shoulder. Continue a few rounds here, left opposite side, ear to opposite shoulder, and continuing. A few more rounds, noticing all the sensations, taking your time. And another round before we come back to center. Notice the effects of that half circle neck movements, letting the shoulders soften away from the ears. And coming up onto knees here, you can remove the blanket, and again with it rolled up, we'll use it as a rolled blanket, about 3 to 4 inches thick, placing it at the top third of your mat so that as you come back on it, you're laying just below the shoulder blades, allowing enough space for your arms to be out to a T. We'll do this position for just about a minute or so before we shift to different positions using the blanket. And you can have the legs long and relaxed, or you could have the knees bent and feet flat. If there isn't a lot of space for the arms to be out to a T, you can always do the arms bent or elbows bent. If it's comfortable, the eyes can be closed here. Breathing, coming in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. You can experiment with lengthening the breath or slowing the breath. Seeing if you can just take your time with each breath. Noticing how the ribs rise and expand on the inhalation, and how the torso softens and releases as you come to the bottom of the exhalation. Filling again through the nostrils and exhaling through the nostrils. Continuing with breath at a comfortable pace here. Letting go of everything that's come before. Letting go of what's to come for your day. Take a final breath here. And then just making a small shift to the blanket, starting by bending the knees and placing the feet on the mat, and then just shifting the blanket about 2 inches down so it's more in the mid-back. Just a new position, not far at all. And then once again, if you had the legs long before, allow the legs to be long here. Notice the new sensations, the pressure in a different or slightly new location on the back. This gentle pressure helps the muscles that run along the spine to soften, to release their activation. These muscles that allow us to be upright, allow us strong backs, also need to rest. Just another breath or two. And then, like you're coming to bridge pose, first make sure that the shoulders are grounded, and then gently lift the hips and bring the blanket down using your hands. Bring the blanket down to the low back or the hips. You might feel that your rear or the thighs, the butt is just barely at a hover off the mat. The legs long if it's comfortable here. If not, then keeping the knees bent and feet flat. And just another minute here. Following inhalations and exhalations. Breath flowing freely and comfortably. Eyes softening or perhaps closing, helping to soften the mind, slow the thoughts. Try to stay with the sensations of your breathing rather than getting caught up in thinking right now. Just a little bit longer. The rise and fall of the belly. The release of the back muscles. Beginning to bend the knees here and rolling onto your right side. Resting on your right side. Right arm or right bicep can rest under the right ear. If it's comfortable, the right arm can be long. The knees positioned however is comfortable for the legs, whether that's left on top of right or just staggered a bit. And feeling the support of the blanket beneath the hip. How it brings this gentle pressure to the hip, this gentle release to the low back. Try to soften any activation of any muscles. And just allow the right side of the body to become heavy. Take your time with each breath as it comes in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Here for just a few more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, slowly shifting onto your back to set up for the opposite side. With the blanket under the opposite hip here, you can make any little readjustments to the blanket. The left arm is now supporting the left side of the head, with the top arm resting wherever is comfortable. The legs relaxed. The left side of the body releasing. Feeling and sensing the gentle pressure from the blanket beneath you. Continuing to follow breath, letting breath flow however is most comfortable for you. Following just one breath at a time. staying with the sensations of the body, the sensations of the breath. And just a little more here. When you're ready, using your hands to press your way upright, you can set the blanket off to the side, taking the legs wide, but first grab your pillows. Bring the pillows in between the legs, with your legs wide, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. You might even use your blanket for a little extra support here as we come to set up for wide-legged fold. You can wrap the arms around your supports, letting the chin rest or forehead rest on your supports. Take a few moments to adjust the position, whether that's legs a little wider or a little shift to the hips. If the knees prefer to be bent, then allow a little bend in the knees, allowing this posture to be comfortable. No need to activate any muscles here. Allowing torso to be heavy, entire back to be soft. Sense the stretch that's here along the backs of the legs, through the hamstrings, the round of the spine that's not forced, yet supported by the pillows or the blanket. Here for just a little longer. Notice where your breath is most noticeable. Perhaps that's along the back or between the shoulder blades. Perhaps there's space to direct the breath more deeply into the torso or filling the diaphragm. Yet breath is still comfortable. Softening the eyes to help soften the mind and the forehead. Still noticing and following each breath. And beginning to make your way upright. Next, you're welcome to move your props off to the side, or you might keep pillows on each side if you'd like to support the knees in a cross-legged position. Setting up with one ankle or one shin in front of the other. For a little counter stretch here, you're welcome to round the spine, walking the fingers forward, and at your own time, coming to a seated position with the eyes closed. Just here for a final minute. A minute here to check in, to notice what's shifted in the last 14 minutes. A moment to scan the body. To notice any areas of heaviness or lightness. To notice the effects of the previous postures on your body. And about 5 to 6 cycles of breath on your own. Centering in to your breath. Relaxed and at ease. Take your time here, beginning to open the eyes. Appreciate you taking the time to do some yoga with me. Thanks again.